What up, what up, what up? True Hill Tribe. We're back with another episode of Ness-XT, starring me, your boy True Hill Ness. We're reviewing the December 11th episode of NXT. And straight like that, man, it's a couple highs and a lot of fucking lows in this episode of Ness-XT. So, without further ado, we're just going to get right into it. The opening match was Lio Rush defending his NXT Cruiserweight Championship against Angel Garza. And this match was fucking lit. This was a banger. This was his match of the night. This was everything that means it was good. You know, it was the best thing about this episode of NXT. And it was full of action, full of suspense. You know, had the crowd engaged. You know, everything. The match was just fucking great. So, again, let's get into it. Match starts off. These guys start brawling. Like, Lio Rush, he ain't with the fuck shit, you know. Angel Garza's been doing all this extra shit, playing mind games, trying to get in Lio Rush's head. As soon as that bell rings, Lio Rush is on his ass. Pause. So, you know, as the match is going on, these guys are battling back and forth. So, Angel Garza ends up getting control of the match. At this point, he puts Lio Rush in like somewhat of a, not a tree of woe, but if you're familiar with Dustin Rhodes, aka Gold Dust, how he sets up for his signature move, the Shattered Dreams, how he puts the people in the the turnbuckle and the ropes. That's kind of how Lio Rush was, but instead of being kicked in the thigh, he gets kicked in the face by Angel Garza with a super kick. You know, that was pretty decent. So again, the match is going on. Angel Garza has control at this point, but Lio Rush is battling back, showing that he's a fighting champion and will not go down easily. So, at this point, Angel Garza is about to hit Lio Rush with a running power bomb that seems like he's going to throw him outside of the ring. Lio Rush counters it with a Hurricane Rana. He sends Angel Garza over the top rope, and then immediately hits Angel Garza with a springboard Asai moonsault, which was also a nice little sequence to show during this match. Again, these guys are still battling it out. You know, one guy not getting, you know, much more control over the other, trying to jockey for position, so to speak, you know. So again, as the match is going on, one spot that I like from Angel Garza, he hits a top rope Spanish fly on Lio Rush. You know, that ends up with a near fall. As the match is still going on, these guys get into it like a slap fest. They slapping the shit out of each other. So then after the slaps, Lio Rush hits Angel Garza with a spinning roundhouse kick. Angel Garza answers back with another super kick of his own. And then both men just fall flat on their faces. At this point, the Full Sail crowd is eating this shit the fuck up. They're just, yeah, this is awesome. This is awesome. NXT, all that good shit. But it's warranted because this match was just that fucking hot. So again, match is going on. Lio Rush attempts to hit a wing clipper on Angel Garza. You know, tries to go for a pin, doesn't get the pin. The match is still going on. Lio Rush hits with the springboard stunner. What is it called? The come up. And then he goes for a final hour. Now, after this final hour, Lio Rush doesn't have the wherewithal to quickly cover Angel Garza for the pin. And Garza's just doing this slow-ass crawl to get out of the ring. And while he's crawling to get out of the ring, Lio Rush grabs onto his pant leg. And you know Angel Garza, this freak-ass nigga, pause, he likes to come out of his pants. Pause. That's what the nigga does. I'm just saying what he does. He loses the tights and has the trunks on. So when that happens, fucking crowd loves that shit for whatever fucking reason. I don't know why. So he's on the outside, you know, just laid out on the side of the ring. Lio Rush tries to go up for another final hour, but this time he gets countered, you know. He gets met with double knees. Angel Garza quickly throws Lio Rush in the ring, hits the wing clipper, tries to go for the pin, but Lio Rush, again, not going down without a fight, kicks out of the wing clipper. Angel Garza still has Lio Rush in the position of the wing clipper, pretty much like the submission. I want to call it like maybe a reverse chicken wing type of thing. And Lio Rush ends up tapping. We got a new NXT Cruiserweight champion in Angel Garza. Again, this match was fucking dope. It was fire. from start to finish. It was a lot of back and forth offense. These guys put on a hell of an opener and a hell of a match. Again, this was match of the night. I'm praising this match so much because the rest of the show, except for like 2 other matches that I'll get into, I'm straight up saying the rest of the show fucking sucked, honestly. Nothing special. But again, this was a dope match. And also, after this match, Angel Garza, proposes to his girlfriend, and now he's not only a NXT or the NXT Cruiserweight Champion, he's also somebody's fiance. So congratulations to you, Angel Garza, and your lovely girlfriend on your engagement. Congratulations to you as well on being the NXT Cruiserweight Champion. Again, it was a great match. It just followed by a great heartwarming moment as for Angel Garza and his lovely fiance. So kudos to everybody for that. I hope that Angel Garza and Lio Rush aren't done yet. I can watch these guys have another match. Just keep it going. Maybe have like a best of something series. A best of whatever series. Because that's why I think that should go. But who knows? Moving on. Next, that happened on the NXT airing of December 11th. There was a video package for Shayna Baszler hyping up her NXT Women's title defense against Rhea Ripley next week on the December 18th episode of NXT. Basically, she was just saying Rhea Ripley's another flavor of the month, and she's going to take her out like she did all the other flavors of the month, like Ember Moon, like Candice LeRae, like Bianca Belair, like Io Shirai, like Dakota Kai, like all these people that everybody thought and wanted to beat Shayna Baszler, they didn't do it, and she's still standing tall. So talk your shit, champ. You the champ. As of right now, talk that shit because it's all facts, and she backed it up. So moving on. Okay. Now before I get into these next 2 matches, let me have my little rant real quick. Last week's episode, I had 2 unpopular opinions about 2 matches. Now, I don't know if somebody watched my shit, because this week, 2 matches, again, involving the same people that I had issues with, were booked fucking worse than the shit I complained about last week. So, the first one that pissed me off, NXT's Raul Mendoza faces Cameron Grimes to pretty much, get revenge on Cameron Grimes for taking him out last week when he was going to be facing a returning Kushida. So, before the match starts, they show Cameron Grimes actually attacking Kushida the night before at the NXT Performance Center. Now, when this match starts off between Cameron Grimes and Raul Mendoza just comes straight out of the gate like a man on fire. He has issues with Cameron Grimes for attacking him from last week, so he's pretty much just trying to get his payback. This match was pretty much all of Raul Mendoza's offense. This was really all Raul Mendoza. The only offense that Cameron Grimes really got in was that flipping fall away power slam, Spanish fly power slam thing that he does. Outside of that, it was all Raul Mendoza. So literally after that same move that Cameron Grimes does, out comes Kushida. He pretty much distracts Cameron Grimes. Raul Mendoza tries to go for a Frankensteiner Hurricane Rana pinning combination. He botched the first attempt, so they had to redo it real quick. But he gets him with the roll up, and he gets the pin. Again, this match was 4 to 5 minutes long. It was short as shit. My issue last week with Cameron Grimes versus Kushida, it was 6 to 8 minutes. This week it was way fucking shorter. Come on, man. Give these guys the time so they can actually have these matches, get people invested. Because these short shit, they're like the fucking Divas matches. Nobody's gonna care. I know it's pushing further along the story between Cameron Grimes and Kushida, but nobody's gonna give a fuck. It wasn't long enough for them to even get invested in it. So if you're watching this again, don't do the same shit next week. Whoever booked this match. Alright, so moving on to the next match. Again, something that I had an issue with last week. This week is Jackson Ryker of the Forgotten Sons, aka the Forgotten Fuckfaces, aka I wish people would, whoever's booking them on the show, would forget to book these niggas on the show. Now, although I am a fan of Jackson Ryker, his previous career in TNA when he was Gunner, this whole Sons of Anarchy, fake ass biker boy shit, I'm not digging it. I don't fuck with it. So I'm not really a fan. But this match didn't do shit for him either. He faced NXT UK talent Travis Banks. Again, this was pretty much all Travis Banks offense, pretty much Travis Banks match. They're pretty much setting up, pushing the NXT UK guys for the Worlds Collide events that's going to happen Royal Rumble weekend, I believe it is, in 2020. So pretty much, again, Travis Banks comes out the gate, striking all over the place. Jackson Ryker put up a fight for the most part. He showed some power, some prowess. There was one spot where Travis Banks goes for a tope suicida, and Jackson Ryker punches him in the face, like legit hits him. Because as the match goes on, Travis Banks has his eyes bleeding. So, he gets potato, gets a tomato. Alright, yeah. But I thought it was funny. If you didn't, I don't give a fuck. I thought it was funny. So, Travis Banks wins this match, what they call the Slice of Heaven. Again, this match, as much as I don't want to see the Sons of Anarchy on my fucking TV, or my fault, this Forgotten Sons on my TV, this match again was like 4 to 5 minutes. Like, you're not doing these guys no favors. Like, these rush crammed matches, again, you're not doing them no type of favors. I'd be better if you didn't book the Forgotten Sons on the show at all. Forget to book them next week. Again, if you're watching this, don't keep doing this to spite me, assholes. Moving on. Now, another highlight of the night for me. This was Mia Yim versus Dakota Kai. Earlier in the night, Mia Yim had a promo saying Dakota Kai took a huge opportunity away from her with NXT TakeOver War Games being the first NXT TakeOver War Games for the women. Mia Yim was set to be a part of that match, being taken out by, at the time, nobody knew. It was obviously Dakota Kai. She ended up leaving in the ambulance. So Mia Yim's like, yo, I'm here for a fight, and it's going to be Dakota Kai leaving in the ambulance. Yeah, talk heavy, Mia. Talk fucking heavy. And, she came and tried, and pretty much for the most part, backed it up. So, she pretty much had 90% of the offense of this match. Just kicking Dakota Kai's ass. She's hitting Dakota Kai with, she hit her with the cold blue. She hit her with overhead belly suplexes. She had her in the tarantula at one point. Shout out to Jerry. This match is going on. She even hit her with a modified version of the Eat Defeat, if you're familiar with that. Soul Food, if you're familiar with Chuck Taylor. But again, as the match is going on, down towards the end of the match, again, before I get to the actual finish, far as heel turns, Dakota Kai, I feel as though, or just heels in general, I feel as though if they're going to win, have them cheat to win more times than, if they're going to lose, have them lose by disqualification, and if they're going to win, have them cheat to win. And that's exactly what happened in the finish to this match. Dakota Kai tries to use the knee brace that she used on Tegan Knox. The ref was like, nah, you bugging, you're not about to do that. So as the ref is distracted with the knee brace, Dakota Kai exposes the turnbuckle. Mia Yim tries to walk up on her. She ends up throwing Mia Yim's forehead into the exposed turnbuckle, rolls her up, gets the 1-2-3 pin. Mia Yim didn't get the win, but it wasn't over there. So Dakota Kai tries to, roll out of the ring and quickly scurry away. After the match, Mia Yim was on her ass like white on white. White on rice. There we go. So Mia Yim's just kicking her ass all over the Full Sail arena. They ended up battling over to the tech support area. Now there's this point they're on top of the tech support area. Mia Yim hits a back body drop onto Dakota Kai, which was supposed to be onto 2 tables. It didn't work out that way. Mia Yim hits Dakota Kai with the back body drop onto 1 table as Dakota Kai's head bounces off the other table while she's crashing through the actual table that both ladies went through. That was fucking tough. That was a crazy spot. Kudos to both ladies for taking that major bump, because that shit was wild. That was my Mamma Mia moment of the night. Shout out Mauro Ranallo, my boy Mauro, got you. You know, that was again. I hope this is not over. I hope that's not the payoff between Dakota Kai and Mia Yim, because a lot surrounding these 2 ladies, with, again, from TakeOver War Games to Dakota Kai just attacking, you know, all the people involved in the match at the War Games on Team Ripley. You know, so I'm hoping Mia Yim didn't win the battle, but, you know, she won the war at this time. She said she was going to send Dakota Kai out of Full Sail in an ambulance, and she damn sure did, you know. So big ups to Mia Yim on saying she was going to do some shit, and she straight up did that shit. Real rap. You know. Moving on. Next match on the card, it was Breezango versus the Singh brothers. I'm a fan of Breezango. You know, both guys, I feel both guys are talented. They just don't really get the opportunity that they deserve to show what they can do, what they can really do. And that's what another situation was like that in this match. This match, I don't think did anything for them or the Singh brothers. I'm just going straight to it. Breezango won. Nothing really special in the match really happened for me. I don't know these niggas' names, which one's which. Sunil and Samir, I don't know which one is which. I don't really give a shit. Pretty much, the match started off Tyler Breeze getting the advantage over one of them Singh niggas. You know, once the tag was made by the Singh brothers, they ended up kicking Tyler Breeze's ass. Tyler Breeze makes a hot tag to Fandango. Fandango comes in. It's Falcon Arrow Mania. He's hitting everybody with Falcon Arrows. You get a Falcon Arrow. That nigga get a Falcon Arrow. Everybody get a fucking Falcon Arrow. And he hits the last dance on one of the Singh brothers. You know, his diving leg drop off the top turnbuckle. I think that's called the last dance. I could be wrong. I don't care. But again, the match was over. Really wasn't nothing special. So, yeah. Really wasn't nothing special. You can skip it. That's definitely skippable. So, moving on. There was another video package for the NXT Women's title match that's going to air next week on the December 18th episode of NXT. This one was for Rhea Ripley. They were showing clips of her doing a radio interview. You know, the interviewer asking, you know, when did you know that you wanted to be a professional wrestler and stuff like that. So then she ends up going into talking about how she was in the Mae Young Classic, how, you know, pretty much she's been dominant since she's came to NXT, how her team at NXT TakeOver War Games went out there with the odds stacked against them. They won. Then the following night, she went out there leading Team NXT at Survivor Series for the women. NXT, her team wins again. So just pretty much building up the momentum that she needs going into her match with Shayna Baszler next week on NXT. Again, I'm going to put my money on Rhea Ripley. I could be wrong. You know, who knows? Dakota Kai might come out, cost her the title match. But I still think that Rhea Ripley is about that time. You know, strap that rocket to her back, shoot it to the moon. You know, don't delay it any longer, because if you delay it, then who knows that when it does finally happen, if the fan base and the crowd, NXT crowd, is still going to be on that type of time for that at that moment. But again, I'm looking forward to this match between both these talented ladies. All right, so the next match on the card was Bianca Belair versus Kaden Carter. Now, Kaden Carter formerly known as Lacey Lane. She used to wrestle in The Crash. I was a fan of hers. She was also in the Mae Young Classic. So, again, another talent that, really doesn't really get that much shine. But I'm glad she's having a match against one of my personal favorites from NXT, the EST of NXT, Bianca Belair. So, pretty much, this match was like back and forth for the most part. Kaden Carter got to show what she can do. She looked very good in this match. Ultimately, Bianca Belair won the match with a KOD. That's pretty much it. I really can't go into the match itself because, again, both ladies were evenly matched during this match. And it was another short match. I really would like to see these two face each other again down the line, given more time. They definitely made use of the time that they had, which was like 6 minutes or so. But a good match that could have been great if they got more time, because they're both great talents and they definitely deserve more time to show what they can do. Again, they made good use of the time that they did have, So if you would want to see the match, to get familiar with Kaden Carter, or if you're a fan of Bianca Belair, I would go out of my way to watch the match just because you're a fan. But, if you don't care, I wouldn't be mad at you. I wouldn't blame you for skipping it, because they did them a disservice by not giving them time. So moving on to the main event, it was Tommaso Ciampa versus Keith Lee versus Finn Balor. Now, earlier in the night, all these niggas had promo videos hyping up this match. I'm not about to run down everything that these niggas said. They all said the same shit. This nigga think he's gonna win. That nigga thinks he's gonna win. But I'm gonna win. That's literally what all these niggas said, but in different ways. So, and again, I got a lot of fucking notes for this match. I'm not reading all this shit. So, again, I'll just run down everybody's pretty much participation in this match. Tommaso Ciampa, I want to say he put in the most effort in this match, far as fighting between Keith Lee and Finn Balor, because he was pretty much going at both of these guys throughout the whole match. There was some spots from him that I enjoyed. He hit a double Willow's Bell which is a draping DDT. He hit on both Keith Lee and Finn Balor at the same time. He does a bunch of air raid crashes in this match. And they were all extremely dope. The one air raid crash that he hit, one of them was on Keith Lee. Again, Tommaso Ciampa coming back from a serious neck injury, lifting up a 300-plus pound Keith Lee to hit him with a air raid crash. That was something to see. There was also another air raid crash spot that Tommaso Ciampa does onto Finn Balor, but he uses Finn Balor as a weapon, hitting the air raid crash onto Finn, as well as hitting the air raid crash onto a laid out Keith Lee. There was another spot where Tommaso Ciampa was going for another air raid crash, pretty much like an avalanche air raid crash, but beforehand he can get to perform the move. Keith Lee came out of nowhere, gets him in an electric chair, so Keith Lee has Tommaso Ciampa on his shoulders. Tommaso Ciampa has Finn Balor in the air raid crash position. Once Keith Lee goes back, he hits the electric chair drop onto Tommaso Ciampa, who in turn hits Finn Balor with the air raid crash. That was a seriously dope spot. That was one of the better moments and sequences from that match. So, moving on to Keith Lee. Keith Lee pretty much, showing his power, being the big hoss, in this match, just throwing his weight around. He's not only is he just throwing his weight around, far as using his power game, He's agile as fuck for a 300 plus pound guy. This nigga was doing mad moonsaults or attempting to do moonsaults in this match. You know, like on some Bam Bam Bigelow, Hugh Morris type shit. There was a couple spots that I liked from Keith Lee in this match. He hits a double Northern Lights suplex on Tommaso Ciampa and Finn Balor. There was another spot where he was going for he was attempting a moonsault, I believe. He was on the second rope. He had Tommaso Ciampa and Finn Balor laid out on each other. Pause. Like he was going to hit both of them for the moonsault. But both guys quickly meet Lee at the second rope. They counter his whatever he was attempting to do. They both hit like a double Russian leg sweep. That was pretty decent. Again, Keith Lee just looked good in this match. Like, Lee looked really great. So moving on to Finn. This was Finn's time, you know. Ultimately, Finn wins this match. He's pretty much methodical, picking his spots as a heel should do. You know, the psychology. There was points in this match where he's hitting both guys with, you know, double leg takedowns, then the stomp, another double leg takedown, and a stomp on top of that. Moving towards like the end of the match, before we get to the end, the finish of the match, there was one spot that was fucking dope. Keith Lee tries to hit a spirit bomb onto Finn Balor. He lifts him up. You know, he's lifting him up, about to go for the, you know, spirit bomb, sit out, last ride power bomb. But quickly, Finn counters with the coup de grace. Like, if you have that image in your mind, you know, guy about to get hit with the last ride type of power bomb, but Finn had the wherewithal to quickly counter that and hit Keith Lee with a double stomp. That was definitely a dope ass spot. But again, the closing sequence to this match, Keith Lee hits Tommaso Ciampa with the spirit bomb, and literally as soon as he lands the spirit bomb, out of nowhere, like an RKO, Finn Balor hits another coup de grace onto Keith Lee, picking up the pin. He wins the triple threat match and is now the #1 contender for Adam Cole's NXT championship, and he will go on to face Adam Cole next week's episode of NXT. Alright, and this is where I gotta admit I was wrong. Players fuck up. On the last episode of Ness-XT, I said my money is on Keith Lee. I'm sitting here with egg on my face. I was wrong. Okay, what the fuck ever. I also said I didn't care who will win this match because it further aligned the storyline for each one of these guys. Now, I don't think that Keith Lee is out of the title picture as of yet. But what I do think is going to happen is, now that Finn Balor is the #1 contender, you know, either he'll win or Adam Cole will retain next week. Excuse me. Now I think it'll come down to Keith Lee versus Tommaso Ciampa, who can be the #1 contender. And honestly, they might even throw Dominik Dijakovic in there, you know, so we might get another triple threat match. Who knows where they're going to go with that. But as of right now, it is Finn Balor versus Adam Cole at the December 18th episode of NXT for the NXT championship. So that was pretty much overall the show. Again, a couple things that I liked, a few things that I liked. The opening match, definitely go out of your way to watch it if you haven't. Dakota Kai versus Mia Yim, very good match between the ladies, and very good post-match antics as well. And then the main event, and you can't go wrong with any of the options that could have won. None of them were bad, but congratulations to Finn. And the crazy thing was, last week I was wearing my Finn shirt, and I said Keith Lee was gonna win. Stupid. But anywho, those are the things that I liked. Things that I didn't like. There was 7 matches on this episode of NXT. Only 3 of them had me invested in them. The rest of them I didn't give a fuck about. Didn't care. Raul Mendoza versus Cameron Grimes. Short as shit. Wasn't worth talking about. Travis Banks versus Jackson Riker. Another short match. Really wasn't worth booking. Stop booking the Forgotten Sons. Forget to book the Forgotten Sons. Anywho, the tag match between Breezango and the Singh brothers, another that's skippable. That's nothing major. Again, Kaden Carter versus Bianca Belair would have been great. I wanted to be invested in this match because I'm a fan of both ladies, and it felt rushed. I couldn't be invested the way I wanted to be. I'm a huge fan of both ladies, but they didn't have anything, they didn't get any favors done for them, making them have a quick, short match like that. It really felt like I was watching Wednesday Night Raw. A bunch of matches that were filler and really didn't make a difference towards the quality of the show. It really brought the quality of the show down, honestly. The crowd wasn't really into these other little filler matches. But, again, the 3 matches that I did like, the crowd was hot for them. Everybody was invested. And it just goes to show that stuff that's planned out well versus things that seem thrown together, that's the reaction you're going to get. So, overall, this was an average episode of NXT with 3 standout great matches and then 4 other duds that you really could do without. So, this was this week's episode of Ness-XT, starring me, your boy True Hill Ness. But before we go, I want to say thank you to everybody that's liking the videos, subscribing to the channel, showing love. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comment section. Also, like us at Facebook at True Hill Heat. Like us, or follow us, on Twitter at True Hill Heat. And also follow us at our new Instagram, True Hill Heat, where you get your weekly updates of everything that, our segments that are going on from the YouTube channel, just random wrestling news, anything like that. Just stay on board with us, guys. We're moving and shaking all across all platforms, So thanks for tuning in. This was Ness-XT, again, starring me, your boy True Hill Ness, and we'll be back next week